Hey, what's up, studs? It's me, Ryan here at MandRproductions, and judging by the title and the thumbnail from this video, you can tell that there's some very exciting LEGO Star Wars news of a set coming out probably very soon, given where this source is. I can't really give much more detail than that, but we can expect this set in early 2019 is my guess, and it is going to be a Darth Vader's castle. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like. If you have an opinion on what I'm about to talk, I have all the details about the set, or at least everything LEGO Bob 35 told me about the set, so we're going to go through all of that. Lots of fun stuff in this set. If you're new here, make sure you go ahead and subscribe so there's more of my future LEGO Star Wars news and rumor videos. Anyway, guys, let's go ahead, hop right into it. We're going to start out with the simple fact that there is rumored to be a LEGO Star Wars Darth Vader's castle coming out very soon. So I've been told quite a few things about that set, and I'm actually really excited to share them because there are a lot of little details that this guy provided me with. He also was able to provide me with some stuff in the past, so I do trust this source. Anyway, he says there are 5 minifigures in this set, 2 of which are red royal guards. I assume they're going to be the same as the Emperor's royal guards that we've seen in the past. They were just described to me as red guards, essentially, so we don't know exactly which ones, but I'm assuming they're going to be the same versions as we got in like the previous battle pack. I don't really expect LEGO to do a major overhaul on that figure, so I expect to see something similar from what we've had in the past, although something new would be welcome. Although I do have a lot of nostalgia for the older version of it, but either way, I'll be happy we get 2 of those in this set, and we haven't seen those for a couple years in LEGO, so I'm very happy to see that come back. The next figure is a Imperial Pilot. More specifically, it's using the same mold, apparently, as the Imperial Assault Hover Tank pilots from 2016, which I find interesting. I think the Shore Troopers from Star Wars Rogue One also had that same helmet mold, but he says there are some blue markings on the helmet which will differentiate it, so it will be an exclusive figure, which is exciting, but that's a figure we're getting in the set. I don't know exactly where it's going to fit into this set. It's a figure I've never seen or known of, but apparently it's going to be an exclusive figure in this set. The next couple of figures are of Darth Vader. We get a regular Darth Vader, so the same old Darth Vader we've been getting for the last few years, I think since 2016 when they redesigned him. I assume it's going to be mostly exactly the same. I assume it to be a very simple Darth Vader, nothing special, nothing fancy about it, no new mold or anything because we just got one a few years ago. So that's the one Darth Vader, and then the other Darth Vader is going to be the battle-worn, battle-torn Darth Vader, aka Anakin Skywalker before he puts on the suit after Obi-Wan cut off his legs and arms, so you're going to get that figure in there as well. You get an idea of what that's going to look like from the more recent Darth Vader's transformation set. I really love the detail on the burnt up Anakin Skywalker figure, so I hope LEGO carries over something similar to this set. So those are the 5 figures. It seems like a pretty simple slate of minifigures. It also makes me think that this particular set is going to be based off of Rogue One, only because it uses those new Imperial Pilot helmets, although actually I should take that back. It's probably based off late episode 3 because it does have the Anakin Skywalker burnt up. And is Darth Vader's castle, I'm sorry I'm unfamiliar with this, is Darth Vader's castle where Emperor Palpatine takes Darth Vader to do the surgery? I was never too sure on that because they never like show it in episode 3, I think, but I think that might be true. You guys will correct me down in the comments if I'm wrong, but I think I might be right with that one, just kind of inferring. Anyway, he did provide me with more details about the set other than just the minifigures. He did say there is going to be a small Darth Vader's TIE fighter included. He says it looks very much the same as the one that we got included in the 2016 UCS Death Star, so don't expect anything too far away from that. I think it's going to be very similar. Maybe not exactly the same. Maybe a few pieces are switched around, but the size, the shaping, everything is going to be very similar to what we saw in 2016 apparently. So don't expect anything fancy. Don't expect like a big one, kind of like the 2009 version. Don't expect that. Don't expect anything super fancy. I actually think it might be a bit of a letdown for a lot of people if I talk about it too much, because I feel like when I talk about stuff in the rumors and I show like the bigger pictures of sets, they're like, oh, why did they just include a full-size Slave One in Cloud City? I'm just like, that was never going to happen. It just wasn't. But yeah, so to be clear, the Darth Vader's TIE Fighter in this set is going to be rather small, so don't expect anything huge in this set, alright? Just get your mind on straight for this one. It's not going to be anything crazy, nothing mind-blowing, just very similar to 2016 Death Star. Let's move on. So Darth Vader's castle is kind of towery, I guess that's the best way to put it, and he says there are 3 floors to the tower in this set, so we're going to have a first floor, second floor, and a third floor, all with different things going on each floor. The first floor is going to have a little hangar or a room for Darth Vader's TIE Fighter, which we just talked about. I expect it to be, I guess, similar to what we saw in the 2016 Death Star, where we have just kind of something for it to hang on to, I suppose, maybe a little landing pad or something along those lines. Nothing particularly fancy, but it does give you an idea of how big the base of the set could be. It has to be bigger than the TIE Fighter if it's going to fit the TIE Fighter in there, so it starts to give you an idea of how big this set could be. But a little hangar bay I'm fine with. I think that's a great little first room on the first floor. The second room apparently contains a Bacta Tank, which we see here in a mock by Dandre, and I'll link that in the description below, but he's in a Bacta Tank. It looks like it's going to look something like that. According to the person who told me all the rest of the information, he didn't tell me a Director Krennic is included, so I'm assuming no Director Krennic or whoever that other figure is standing next to it. Maybe it's got to be Sidious. I was just like, I don't know who that is actually, but the Bacta Tank will be included, so you can put your charred up Darth Vader in there, I suppose, or charred up Anakin Skywalker, and he will fit in there very nicely, I'm sure. We did get a Bacta Tank this summer, actually, with the Hoth Medical Chamber, so I expect it to be very similar, just with kind of black colors on the outside instead of white, so just to give you an idea of what we're looking at for something included on the second floor of this set. And just being a Bacta Tank on the floor, I hope there's a lot of little things going on around it, maybe some medical things, I don't know, but I'm not expecting anything really too fancy there, though. And lastly, on the third floor, he says it has Darth Vader's meditation chamber, and I'm going to show this picture of this mock from LEGO Ideas, of course, it'll be linked down below, but that is what Darth Vader's meditation chamber is. We've seen it in the movies. We know what it looks like. It's going to be on the top floor, and it's not going to be anything fancy, I think. I don't think it's going to be quite as cool as this LEGO Ideas mock, which I actually really love, but quite the opposite. It'll be somewhere better than the 2006 Imperial Star Destroyer's Darth Vader's meditation chamber. That was a very simple design. I expect them to do a little bit better with this one. Of course, you'll have the mechanism probably to pull his helmet off and such, but it should be a pretty simple and interesting design. I'm kind of excited to see what that one looks like. It's probably the part of the set that I'm most excited to see what it looks like, because I know they're not going to go as simple as they did in 2006, but I know they're not going to go as crazy as that LEGO Ideas project, which is just amazing. But somewhere in the middle, probably closer to 2006 Darth Vader's meditation chamber as far as detail, but I really hope they're at least able to get the shape of like the teeth on that thing right, because that would be the coolest part about it. I love the teeth on that. I think that's what makes that type of design, and if they can't get that right, that would be a shame, but I'll be fine with it either way. I just really hope they do get the teeth in there. And he's got a really cool like circular chair. Maybe they can work that into the design as well. I don't know, but that would be awesome. He says the castle itself looks similar to the original Mustafar castle. It's tall and thin, a pyramid covered in black with some red decorations. So that sounds awesome. It sounds like a really coolly designed set. Of course, it's going to look just like Darth Vader's castle, or at least in some design. Might have to have some compromises because of its size. It's apparently going to cost between $80 and $100. That's just his guesstimate. It's not the official price by LEGO. Obviously, LEGO hasn't even talked about this set, so we don't know anything about it other than what I've been told here. He does guess that it's about as tall as Director Krennic's Imperial shuttle. You're looking somewhere about this big for Darth Vader's castle. Of course, it would be all closed off and you'd have an interior and stuff, but that's not that huge. Like, it could work. I think it will work, but it's nothing huge. It's nothing mind-blowing. It's not going to be like the Orthanc Tower from Lord of the Rings, which is just one of the most incredible sets LEGO's ever made. I think it's a giant tower, and it's got a huge like multi-level interior, which is the craziest part about it. So basically take 3 sections from that, and that's about how tall Darth Vader's castle will be, maybe with a little bit more on top for some decor, little things pointing out the top or whatever, base on the bottom or whatever. But other than that, it's going to be a very similar design to that, I think, as far as like how much space is in between each floor. But we could probably expect it to be something more close to Elsa's castle in all black, of course. Obviously, I think there's going to be more space between each floor than there was on Elsa's frozen castle here, and I think it's going to be a lot bulkier, a lot bigger. You're going to have, of course, the Darth Vader's TIE Fighter that can fit in the bottom, so the very, very minimal, like basically double the size of that and make it a little bit more detailed, and I think that's where we're looking at for Darth Vader's castle, as opposed to something closer to Orthanc Tower, because I don't think LEGO's going to go that far for something we barely ever see in the movies, unfortunately. So I'm really excited for the set. It sounds like a promising, likely 2019 set. Darth Vader's castle has always been something very interesting to me. It's something they don't show or talk about too much in the movies, and I would love to see more of it in the movies. They never really have talked about it too much, but I think it could be a really exciting set. I hope it is. I really really am looking forward to seeing what this one looks like. I'm totally gonna buy it regardless of what it looks like, because I buy all the Lego Star Wars sets, right? So if you guys think this is a set for you, let me know in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think Lego should have done differently, because this sounds like it's a final version of the model. This is not like a preliminary image or anything that I have been told about. So this seems like something we don't really know of yet for 2019, but is probably coming as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, guys, I do hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like on it. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. And if you have anything to say, leave in the comment section below. Thank you, LegoBob35, for the info, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.